And welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from BLS, and you're watching Open. We thank you and appreciate you for tuning in and checking it all out. Well, our next guest is the host of her very own show, Conversations with Verdel Jones, and she joins us to speak about how she is using her platform, along with 30 years of experience in public education, to uplift her community. So please welcome to the show, Verdel Jones in the house. Verdel, welcome.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Verdel, are you in New York City right about now, or?
I am on Long Island,
Oh, okay. What part of Long Island?
Wheatley Heights, right in the middle of the island.
All right, there you go.
But I grew
And
up in Central Islip, so I always rep Central Islip. That's where I grew up
wow,
and graduated from.
I was in the Golden Gloves. I fought a guy from Central Islips. Islip.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so you were an educator for about over 30 years.
Yes, that's correct. I was a business teacher, a school counselor, and then I was the district director of school counseling for 19 years at Plainage Schools.
Yeah. How does the work you've done as an educator impact the work that you're doing in our community today?
So as an educator, I always live by the idea of a Maya Angelou quote that I love: "When you learn, teach, and when you get, give." And I think it's so important for me to share
Mm-hmm.
my knowledge with others because sometimes information is not available to us. So I think it's my job and my mission and my passion to be able to share valuable information with others so they can learn something that they may not know.
That's very important, isn't it? Just
Absolutely, absolutely,
that.
and that's just who I am, and that's who I always want to embody and come across when someone meets me. So it's so important.
Yeah. So you started a show, Conversations with Verdel Jones, uh, a while ago. I think 2015, right?
Yeah. So
And then you took a
so
little break
back
from it.
I did. So
Yeah.
back in 2015, I started a show. I got into it because I always wanted to do radio. And I got an opportunity to be able to do my own talk show, and it was, I was excited about it, and I did it for a good little while. Then we took a break to do a family show called Let's Kick It with the Joneses. So it was an intergenerational show with my husband and my two grown children once the pandemic hit. So really what stopped me from doing it was the pandemic, and we were able to film Let's Kick It with the Joneses in our home because both of my children are in media. So we were able to do that. But now is the time to bring my show back.
So did you start already, or you're gearing up? You
So, as
gearing
a
up?
matter of fact, we're going to start taping tomorrow, and we'll start airing the episodes in the top of the new year.
Don't let the Joneses get you down.
Just
That's in one of the records. Don't let the Joneses. Don't let the
get you.
Joneses.
That's right. Keeping up with the Joneses, all of that.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Or me and Mrs. Jones. No, all
Right.
right. So you
Yes.
got the kids involved?
Yeah. So family is everything
Uh huh.
to me, very very important. And our kids, since they are media, my daughter's a journalist, my son is a film editor. He actually works for a local news channel in the
Yeah.
Bronx. So he he and her both were very very involved with helping produce Let's Kick It with the Joneses, and
Yeah.
also to a certain extent conversations with Verdel Jones as well. So they are intimately involved. They We work as a team. My husband is always on set with me, and it's really a family affair.
Yeah. And what's it going to be about? Stories of on people of color. What's it about?
Sure. So the relaunch of it is a continuation of what I did. And my opening line was sharing conversations that will inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. And I think at this stage in our world, I wanted to create a show that where people have passions. We all have passions, but my idea is to have that empower their passion with a purpose.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have people on that are maybe educators, entrepreneurs, authors, creatives in those spaces, and to find out what they're passionate about, and how that passion, they were able to kind of make that passion intentional and create the platform or the business or the idea into action.
Empower a passion with a purpose.
Empowering your passion with the purpose. Yes.
I like that. That can be a book too.
Yeah.
I can see a whole thing come out of that.
I like that.
That's a thing. You're thinking about it? Write it down.
Yeah, you got to write it down. If you don't write it down, it doesn't happen,
Here,
right?
here, use my pen right here.
Thank you.
So yeah, it can go a long way.
Yeah.
Where can we see this? I mean, you're putting it together now. You have the channels and everything ready to go.
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to be putting it on my YouTube channel. I do have a YouTube channel already, Conversations with Verdel Jones.
Uh huh.
So they'll be able to see it there. It's also going to be in podcast format, so you'll be able to hear it on all major podcasts as well.
Yeah. Well, that'd be like radio. That's AM. That's AM radio.
hmm
Podcasting right now is what used to take place, and it was a talk show.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
AM radio,
Always
those
been a big fan.
conversations. Yeah.
Always loved talk shows. Ever since I was a young child, I always liked to listen to talk
Yeah.
shows. I don't, because you get so much information out of it, and it's not a distraction. You have to be focused,
Exactly.
on the message that's being shared.
So yeah, so you'll be doing an AM talk show, AM radio. That's the new word. The new word for it is podcast. The new
Right.
word. It's the same thing. That's what they used to do. In fact, when they started WBLS and WLIB, it was mostly talk show stuff.
hmm
Well, at least WLIB AM side was.
Right. The
Uh,
AM. Yes, I
and
remember.
but you said you wanted to get involved in radio. Who were some of the people that you were listening to coming up?
Oh boy, I mean, back in the day, Frankie Crocker,
Uh,
he was the man. And then, even, growing up in the 80s in the, hip hop era,
uh-huh.
you would Mr. Magic, right? You would get your tape deck ready to record those songs and on your tape
Uh-huh.
deck. And I just love the dynamic, as I was growing up, that's all we listened to was the radio.
Yeah.
My mom would play the radio all the time, and I was just fascinated with the voices coming out of that, out of the radio, and wanted to be involved with that. And one of my aunts also, she was really into radio and such. So I guess I kind of wanted to be like her.
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned a couple of key people in radio as we
hmm
celebrate 50 years of WBLS.
Mm,
You mentioned Frankie Crocker. I was an intern under Frankie Crocker,
okay.
and I came in with my own van, and I used to do all the promotional stuff with my own van
Oh wow.
with WBLS. And then a couple of years later, they brought in Mr. Magic. So it
Mm,
was Dr. Bobley and Mr. Magic crisscrossing the tri-state area with the WBLS Juice Mobiles.
Juice, right?
Another note for
Okay.
the 50 years of WBLS. Then I brought in my DJ, who we grew up with in the same area in Queensbridge, Molly Mall. So
Oh,
it
Molly
became
Mall, right? Of course,
Mr.
yes.
Magic and Molly Mall and the whole thing, all history
Right, yeah.
of the 50 years
Just
of WBL. So yeah, you've been in it, huh? You
mhm.
know a little bit about it. So you're gonna start your thing. You got it. You got it ready to go now.
Yeah, we like I said, we're gonna be taping tomorrow. First.
Oh, she's taping tomorrow.
Yes, I'm taping tomorrow. The top of the year, we'll be releasing a show a week,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have two guests for each show. A short format. And just really getting information from them. And I'm really excited about our upcoming guests that we have
Oh,
to talk about what they do and how they help their community. I think community, especially now, is so important.
yeah.
In,
So
in the climate that we're in, and being able to share Black voices and represent us in media, I think is so important. And not only
yeah.
that, but supporting media. And I think we really need to encourage people to support Black media in a real way. We can't do this without support. So I think that's important to share that
Yes.
message as well.
Yeah. And what will people learn from those first few pieces that you put together?
They're going to learn a little bit about finances. We have some financial people there, not only finances in the traditional sense that you would think of or that I'm familiar with, but we have a woman that's going to be coming on talking about what do we need to invest in? What are things do we need to pay attention to? You have the Bitcoin and the blockchain and all that. I have no idea what any of that means.
Yeah.
I've heard those words, but she'll be able to break that down. And then we have some traditional. We have a woman who will also be speaking about traditional financing. We have a person that has his community-based organization that feeds and helps the community. We have a stylist. If you're going
Uh-huh.
to walk into a room and command attention, you want to make sure that you're looking the part. So she'll be talking about that. And we have a gentleman who brings the good news and his coffee to different events. So if you have a party and you want like a cafe coffee kind of feel, and his coffee is amazing,
Mhm.
he'll be there to to provide that coffee and also share the good news. It's a Christian based company that he has, so we're going to be talking to him as well.
Uh-huh. It's
Mhm.
gonna have everybody sparked up with that coffee, eyes
That-
wide open. Here we
I
go.
hope he brings some tomorrow.
Yeah, right. So it seems like that from what I hear is that you're gonna be putting together like some sort of space where people can come uh, in the future,
Mhm.
where everybody's all under one roof and you can just mix and mingle and learn from one another, like a
Absolutely.
convention or something like that.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do in that short time space that we'll be in the studio, the guests will be there and
Yeah.
they'll be able to network and work, and
Hmm.
collaborate hopefully, but meet each other and find out, like you said, what's going on over here? What are you doing? How can we connect with one another? Again, that sense of community is so important, and I hope to foster that as well
Mm.
while I do the show.
Share, inform, enlighten. You have a
Yes.
nonprofit. Talk
I
about it.
do. I do. So Shan Forman Lighten started with a for-profit company that I had,
Hmm.
um, being that college and post-secondary education and career. That's what I did as an educator. So important to me. And my for-profit had workshops and things like that to share with people about financial aid, college selection process, all of that. But in that, I also started a scholarship for students, a poetry slam scholarship. And eventually that kind of evolved into a nonprofit because I want to create a nonprofit to be able to provide scholarships year after year to students. Via a poetry slam scholarship. So now we're also with Share Inform Enlighten. We are conducting workshops. We just had a coping with grief during the holidays workshop. We're going to have a workshop related to media because literacy is tied into this as well. Um, Media and how to kind of know what real media is or discern what is the truth and what is not. And
Mm.
so media literacy is a workshop that we're going to be planning in February as well.
Yeah, it seems like you're incorporating everything that you're wrapped up into what you're doing now, into your passion.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And finding that passion. I think sometimes it takes people a while to find their passion or even
Yeah.
know what their passion is. And I'm fortunate that education was my passion or is my passion, and I'm able to, put that in different venues, different
Hmm.
areas, whether it be a nonprofit or a talk show.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Do you need money? I always ask
Oh,
that question.
of course.
All right.
So we do give scholarships to students via Poetry Slam Scholarship. It is for Long Island students that are graduating and attending post-secondary education.
Uh huh.
So we have, since its inception in 2018, we've awarded $16,700 to students. So we would love to, just keep giving those scholarships to students. We also have, as I said, the webinars and workshops that we're going to be doing, and also just supporting, media with conversations with Verdel Jones, supporting that in any way possible.
There you go.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful thing, and I'm just going to give you the television for a hot second so that you can ask for what you want.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Go for it.
Um, so you can You can go to shareinformenlighten.org to find out all about our nonprofit and the scholarships that we give our students and the programs that we have in place to share, inform, and enlighten those. You can also, there is a donation page on there as well, so you can donate directly to on that page. If you can also see Conversations with Verdel Jones on my YouTube channel. That's Conversations with Verdel Jones. You can also email me and reach out to me at Conversations with Verdel Jones at gmail.com for any inquiries to be on the show or contribute to the show or be a sponsor to the show as well. You can also follow me on IG, and it's Verdel_Jones.
Give me one that people can remember right off the bat.
I would say one that they can remember. They can always follow me on Instagram. IG probably is the best way. So it's Verdel, VERDEL_Jones, JONES on IG. Best way to reach me. Or they can also email me at conversationswithverdeljones@gmail.com.
Verdel Jones, host Conversations with Verdel Jones. We thank you so much for joining us, okay?
Thank you so much.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break right here. We'll come back and hit you off with some more next on Open.